I guess my video stopped recording I was making. That's very odd. That seems to happen sometimes when I talk about things of a spiritual nature, but I have no idea when it cut out, so I'm just gonna do this again. I was talking about how I had asked the public audience on the Vic Cundiff show when I was on. I was talking about my dad's experience with a stickman. And, you know, he saw a bona fide stickman a couple minutes away from where I live now. Stick arms, stick legs, flat leaf face. And when he got home, he's like, Susan, that's the name of my mom. He's like, you'll never believe what I saw. She drew out the picture for him and everything. And then I went on this long soliloquy about, I got contacted from this woman from Rendlesham Forest. She lives real close to there. And she said she saw a stickman too. And I was telling the audience and the video that somehow just crashed now, that these fallen spirits, these fallen angels, I mean, these entities, they make a charade. They imitate and mimic these aliens to confuse you so you don't get to the bottom of the thing. And the simple fact is, Satan fell with his angels. And these disembodied spirits, these demons, they want to confuse you. They make contact with people. They make themselves look like aliens. I was saying that Jack Parsons was the NASA brain behind Roswell, New Mexico. He was the man that was helping the Air Force or the military design the stuff, the scientific. He was also a card-carrying bona fide Satanist. Yes, and he wrote text about how he conjures up spirits, and he conjured them over and over and over again in Roswell. Before I came back to Christianity, I wrote a testimony. Josh Peck asked me to write a testimony, and I did. And in that testimony, I wrote about how after growing up in the church when I was a teenager, they didn't give me good enough answers biblically to explain UFO phenomena, spirits and stuff. So I went to the occult, and doing so, these genetic gifts or whatever, I conjured spirits, and the spirits that I conjured, I saw with my own two eyes, and I had witnesses see them too. I never publicly, in a forum admitted that before, and maybe that's why my video, who knows why it cut out. But I'm here to tell you that she's got these pictures that were taken that look like these wisps, how I used to see spirits. And going back to the Jack Parsons alien phenomena hoax thing, which are really spirits hoax, I pulled up a picture of what Aleister Crowley used to conjure up, and guess what it looks like? That's right, looks like that, guys. This is a game, and the whole point of the game for these demons is they want to trick you into not figuring out the truth. Period. End of story. They hate us. They don't like the idea of us having this physical chance, this test, choosing God, choosing Christ, coming to know Him, and surmounting and overcoming this evil, this horrible, sometimes life can be so difficult, and we have a chance to overcome through faith, believing on Christ as our Savior, and then He promised us that we get to sit on the right hand side of God, and these demons are screwed forever, all eternity, and they know that, and they hate us. Anyway, so we have seen all kinds of weird things in Rendlesham Forest. Here we encountered the stickman. I'll call this woman Sally. It's a very different place at night, quite eerie, and going there with someone who knows it like the back of their hand is great because you get to learn the history. Brenda was one of the first to investigate the original sightings and still takes people through the forest at night to sky watch, etc. She has had many encounters with UFOs and even a Sasquatch-type creature there. On this particular excursion, we went through the forest to an area that had recently been cleared to reveal an ancient barrow or burial ground. It covered quite an area and was surmounted by the forest. We sat for a while when something caught my eye in the distance at the edge of the tree line. It was bright, appearing to be lit by its own light, and looked like a stick drawing, like a child would draw, of a person side on to us, and I would estimate it about 6 to 7 feet tall. It appeared at the edge of the clearing and ran really fast along the edge of the tree line from left to right before disappearing back into the trees. Its whole outline was just made of bright light, and you could see the legs and arms pumping as it ran. That sounds scary, man. That sounds really wild. I've seen many strange things in Rendlesham Forest. but never like that, anything like that. We all saw it, and when I asked Brenda about it, she said that they had seen them all the time. She went out with Brenda Butler, who is a well-renowned, so all the time. So we didn't see it again, but although it was about 3 years ago now, it's still as sharp in my mind as it ever been. It was late at night. Nothing seemed to kick off there until after 10 p.m., but the moon was quite full, so we were able to see reasonably well until we re-entered the forest, which is why I guess we got to see it so well, she said. Anyway, here's some pictures that she sent me of the orbs. Oh, here's the mist. This is how I've seen spirits when I used to mess around with the occult and intentionally call them. I am so grateful now that, God got me out of that. And I didn't get, a serious situation going on with because they can mess up your whole life, you guys. Screwing around with stuff like that. Here's an orb. So this is the stuff she saw. There's some more stuff. I'm going to get the one with all these other orbs. There's tons of orbs. I'm still trying to figure out this new laptop I got. Oh, here's some heavy duty mist. See that? I mean, that's covered. She wasn't smoking a cigarette, you guys. There was no bonfire going on. That is some heavy duty misting going on. And it's not mist, I should say, spirit. It's creepy. Yeah, I used to see it. It would go whoosh, whoosh, from the sky down to where I was standing with a friend of mine who was a skeptic up until that point. Okay, for some reason the orb picture is gone, but it was a ton of those circles, orb circles, and when I find it I will post it. Oh, here it is. So as you can see, there's high spiritual activity, and I just wanted to make this video and basically put it out there that there are areas geographically where people have done magical ritual over it so many times that a portal has been open, and I think that's what's going on in Rendlesham Forest and Roswell and other places where you have sightings of even 7-foot tall men that look like bird men with white faces. I've heard all sorts of things, so just keep that in mind as you're learning about all this stuff and navigating your way through this life, this odyssey, and trying to separate the truth from the fiction. And the answers are in the Bible. So thank you for listening, and God bless.